While we're in here, we can finally get to something John wants to work on. You want to work on the Bolens? We've got to get all of this dug out anyway in order to put the van body over here. So somewhere in there is a tube chassis Bolens 66 that John has been chomping at the bit to try and get up and running. And I believe I've got a spare... I think we got the spare Ducar engine, and I know I have spare pulleys right now that fit a 3/4 inch shaft. So let's dig into it and see what it'll do. Yeah, this is going to take a while. We'll bring you guys back. I was debating whether this was going to be useful for a project, but after 8 years of sitting with swamp water in it, let's see if it'll pour some more out here. Oh yeah. There it goes. It does not seem to turn over, but that's okay. I can head to the junkyard. I don't entirely know where the lifting set came from, so that's going to go away. The muffler set actually goes to the 351 Windsor that's in the truck over here, so we're going to set that aside. And these prickles are not too bad with our new boots that we got. These are HISEA that were sponsored on the channel. In all honesty, I don't think they actually sponsored me. I think they sponsored Jethro for all of the cutesy little photos. I think they just put up with sending me a pair so that I'd do them. But is your job just to sit here and play with the kitty and look cute? Yeah, you've got the best job. But you don't have your boots on. You're supposed to be selling boots. What kind of sponsorship seller are you? Huh?
Easy, easy, easy.
Hey, yep, don't grab the kitty's ear. Easy. We're still working on the whole grabbing the kitty thing. But Fuzz likes him anyway, so, you know, that's how love goes.
Easy.
I put it in gear. You and the whole bump the clutch to put it in gear does not get along, does it? There you go. Got the exhaust pulled out. Discovered a random battery for some reason under this tree, but I haven't made it to the scrapyard yet, so at least that's money in the bank. And now we can start focusing on what the real target is getting this thing dug out. Tons and tons of rose bushes and a lot of taking your time. We'll be back. Are you bored? Yeah, you and the arm noodles need to do some bench lifting.
Hey, come on!
John, if you sit on it, you can't get to everything around it. You just wanted to sit on it because you played on this thing your entire life.
I can kind of get stuff sitting on it.
You lie. You just wanted to pretend sit on it.
And the seat's comfy.
You're such a kid.
I am a kid.
Oh, I forgot. My bad. We're losing daylight very quickly, so we wanted to shoot a little clip here to show you where we're at. John's been using his John Deere with the 212 in it to haul prickle brush stuff for a long period of time now. Go ahead, sit on it. See what it looks like. So let's take a look at what we got here before we lose too much light. We cannot see the front tire axle there. This one's at least out of the ground. That one's mostly sunk in. This engine is supposedly ran when parked, but about 4 years before it ended up at my house about 10 years ago. So that puts the ran when parked about 14 years ago, so we're not even going to bother. We're just going to rip it out, set it aside, maybe monkey with it at some other point. But yeah, so we're going to come back to this and get it out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. John doesn't have any toys to play with around here at all. If you haven't figured this out, we've got it in what we believe to be neutral right now. John, just give it a thump. It's in there good. Pull forward and then bump it a couple of times in reverse. John and I decided arguing with flat tires wasn't worth it, so I went over to the junkyard and I found this pair of tires that came off of my 1968 Sears Suburban that we built into a dragster a few years ago, and it's pretty close. So this collar sits right about there, so I've got to space it out a little bit. But what's interesting about this is that it's an Allen going all the way through this collar and screws in on that side. So they drilled a hole all the way through, and then they've got a grease cap that goes over the top of this so that it can't rust and ruin it. That's a really cool design. It's kind of like the Sears Suburban design, except for the Sears Suburban has a pin that inserts and then this collar slides over the top of it. I kind of like the Sears design better. I think over time that probably would rust up less, or at least be less risky. What do you guys think? We've had a minor hiccup that John managed to play with a tape measure and figure out. It seems that the Bolens is apparently almost a solid foot thinner than what most lawn tractors apparently are today. So John's got this all set up. We're going to get him around on the other side of it and give it a push. Hopefully have it up in here. How's that for a really old engine? I can't say what I was expecting, but this ancient Wisconsin was not exactly what I was expecting. Obviously, there's been a squirrel making a nest on it. Model S8D, serial number 4298633. I'm sure somebody will tell me what that means for the age of this thing in the comment section. But that's John's big hurdle at this point, is he's got to get this entire thing out of here, which means figuring out how to get to those bolts underneath. That giant, why in the world is it so big, battery needs to come out, and the deck needs to come off. Are you done yet? Oh, why do you have a cell phone in your hand?
I'm taking photos of it and stuff so I know how everything looks.
There you go. Especially the clutching system, okay?
What system?
The clutch system for how the belt goes down to the drive shaft and stuff. You need to make sure you take pictures of that the moment the engine's out, okay?
Okay. Because
I guarantee every bit of that system is seized, and we're going to have to rip it all apart and lube it up. On a continued episode of I Know Nothing About What I'm Doing, we've got this ready to do off camera, and let's see if we have spark. most part. That's what I was worried about. So I wonder if I put a booster pack on that and then kick this over. But the problem is there's a bunch of toggle switches we have no idea what are doing in order to power that stupid box. That's a bummer, but we've hit the end of how much effort we're going to put into this for now. We tried putting a box up there, along with hitting it here. I've disconnected what looks to be a kill wire on the other side. We've toggled every toggle that'll work correctly. Sometimes you just gotta go and move on. I think what we're gonna do is pull this off and continue how we were planning on, and maybe pop this side cover off later, because it is filled with mouse. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. From top to bottom, it is mouse crap. Which means there's a good chance that coil wire is just obliterated on the inside of there, and we're wasting every bit of effort. John got the battery out of here, and what we figured out is that most likely whatever this buzz box is, it's some kind of field rectifier or something to go to the starter generator, because not a single bit of this wiring goes to the engine anywhere. It all loops back through into this charge wire here that goes to this starter button slash solenoid thing. This is interesting. I wonder if they still make something like this. It looks like the old push button for high-low headlights on an old Ford, but it's not. It's some sort of like solenoid relay, because this is the positive that comes around to the battery. And this goes right directly to the starter generator. And this is looped in line with it. And that right there, I don't know what's going on with this push-pull button, because that comes around into whatever this buzz box is for the generator. But that red wire shoots up here and then comes out right here. So John's theory is headlights, because that reaches right about the front of the grill. So that's what I'm going to agree with, is I'm betting that's probably headlights. And the other fun one I like is stop switch. Push. See the little arrow? I don't think I've monkeyed with an engine that had a push to kill tab probably since I was John's age. My original like 70s lawn tractor had one of these on the top of it that you push down on the spark plug. God, I hated that thing, because if you slipped and you put your thumb onto that because you weren't paying attention, you figured it out. I'm trying to decide if I trust that John actually got all the bolts and stuff disconnected, because I bet this thing weighs a oh god, it weighs a stupid amount. Okay, seems to be unbolted. Alright. Lift with your back. Groan about your knees. Mother of God! Old timers had big engines with little horsepower. Alright, John, there you go. Now people can see the clutch assembly. Yep, go ahead and put it in regular view. So, this belt here drives down through to the PTO down there. And so this engages that. And then this thing has a high-low option, and I think it's changing the two pulleys that it's using. And when you punch that, the clutch moves the entire assembly. Like slow. Which means somewhere there's a clutch plate, and I'm hoping it's not obliterated. Go ahead, show them that it works under midget horsepower. That's first gear as powered by a John. So if we come over here, stop for a sec. If we come over here, and God, that's awful loose. I think if we slam it there, that should be reverse. Try it again. That sounds grindy. First, okay, try that. I'm gonna hold it and see if it needs to pop in. Now keep going. There it goes. Cool, so we got reverse. Okay, hold a sec. Okay. Uh-oh. Maybe that's why it wasn't in reverse. There. Okay, so reverse takes some manly initiative. Alright. Nobody needs second gear. Let's go for third. That should be third. Now if you rotate it. What are you doing?
Wait.
Alright, wait a minute. Let's see if it's like the other one. Let's see if... Okay, there. I gave it a good wallop that time. No, you're doing the belt the wrong direction. Don't look at the tractor like it's stupid when you did it in reverse. There, okay, okay. Don't run yourself over. We've got first, we've got reverse if you're lovable, and third gear if you're lovable. Screw it. We don't care if anything else is there. Now we can start sorting out an engine idea. John's removing the entire hanger assembly and deck and everything all at once right down because the deck is just absolutely totally seized. Every bearing in it is inoperable. The right angle gearbox, on the other hand, looks to be okay, so we might pull the gearbox in order to use on another project that we've wanted a right angle for a while. But John's making progress. He's, I don't know, what we say, 60% of the work to tear it down has been done by John. I've helped just a little when he gets scared that he's going to break something, no matter how many times I say just thump the damn thing. Are you trying to say old people have complicated old tractors?
No, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go back to prying on something before you make every old person mad at you that watches our videos. You can judge me all you want, but I'm sitting here hauling on this thing that weighs like a John and a half worth of weight, and that little bugger just jumped out at me on my hand. No, get out from underneath it, you idiot. I gotta get this out of there. Why did you put a frog in there?
I don't know.
John, you made going engine hunting the most awkward thing ever.
I want to drop it.
Go ahead and lift it and put it onto the board and then come back out and around. There, turn around, put it on the board. We don't even know if it has a 3/4 inch shaft on it or whether it's got the generator shaft on it anyway. Which one is it?
It's pointed.
That's the tapered shaft. We don't need that one. You found the wrong engine. Put it back. The engine's not happy, but... That engine looks about as out of place as a chromed out engine in a patina hot rod, but it is what it is. It's what we got on hand. I did figure out why it's being so stupid on the startup. I forgot. That's a GX160 small valve head on a 200 block, and so that's where we're getting the dumb out of it. As it is, John has cut up these blocks here. I welded in the ends of them. We've got spray paint down every one of the holes. We should be able to lift it up once it dries a little bit and know exactly where to drill and put some riv nuts in. I know that the whole riv nut thing is controversial, but almost all of your racing block mounts that they do for mini bikes and everything else all use riv nuts at this point. So I think it'll be fine for what we're doing. All it's got to do is hold that little centrifugal clutch. It should easily do that. That engine is one hell of a hodgepodge, but it's running. It only runs on half choke because it's got the wrong head on it. But that spins up. Alright. Go ahead and shift it into first. Whoa. Okay. So it hadn't spun the clutch down yet. Okay, shift it into reverse. Let me give it a bop. Let me see if it'll drop in. Okay, try to shift it in reverse. Okay, hammer it forward into reverse. There it goes. Alright, let me give it just a light bop. Hey, grab the kill tether just in case. Good. Alright, put it back into first. You think that's first? That's first? Okay. Let me give it a bop. There it goes. That's working. Whoa, why does it want to keep going? I don't know why it keeps doing the continue keep going thing. Steering. We should probably sort that out because that is supposed to be attached to that ball, but that is supposed to be straight up and down. And that's kind of weird considering I pushed it in there and it didn't have any problems with steering. But I swear a few years ago I thought that that thing had moved. I'm wondering if it got hit by somebody backing around in the location it was at. Either way, we're going to pop this out, take an adjustable hammer to this, and then probably do the whole weld-to-washer around the base of it trick. This is ugly. This is temporary. But all you do is take a washer that has the same inner diameter as the bottom of the ball. You cut a slit in it, slide it down on the slit, and then weld it all the way around, and all of a sudden your ball joint works again. Is it permanent? No. Will it get you out of the field and use it for another year till you forget about it? Yes. We've got the NR Racing attachment here. This works really good with one of these Clevis setups. This is a mini bike thumb throttle that goes like that. Now, I'm going to rev it up and John's going to pull the kill. Go ahead. We just figured out why that won't disengage, John. Because that ginormous clutch assembly down there that's freewheeling on that shaft, it's acting like a centrifugal flywheel. So once you get that powered up and it's rolling that thing, when this thing is in neutral, it's acting like a flywheel to keep it going. So we're going to have to be really careful on neutral into whatever shifts if you accidentally rev it. So you're going to have to let this thing fully idle down really well before you go for the first shift. Okay. Well, after rejetting the carb and then finding out ain't got no gas in it, let's try it. Put it in reverse. John, remember what I said about trying that clutch on the side? See if that's what's doing it. It'll drop off. Hold up, you're burning something. Are you doing this clutch?
Yeah.
Okay, let off the clutch. Now try. There it goes. Yeah, she's not gonna have much That's the first time she's fired up and been outside in 14 years. Alright, put her in first gear just to see if she'll go. Whoa, be nice on that throttle. Was that first gear or did you accidentally drop into second?
I put it in first.
You sure? Dude, that's forward 3.
Yeah, third.
No, I said first gear to try it, not third. It's okay. It's okay. Apparently third gear works. Okay, let's try first this time. Alright, never mind. Okay, that's a really, really low first. Okay, try second. You have no rev limiter on that engine. Don't put the damn connecting rod through the block. Okay, put... Alright, down the steep hill. That's not too bad. Now around, and then let's hit the steep side. Uh-oh. No, you're burning the clutch. You're burning the clutch. Come back. I can smell it from here. Alright, what gear were you in? Third? Okay. Put it in first and see if you can climb the hill. And remember what I said about trying that clutch up there to see if it makes a difference. Go for it. There we go. Much better. Yeah, the brake situation is not the best. Okay, shut it down. We have to have the serious part of the video now. Well, let's talk the serious part that John doesn't want to have. The real reality is this thing is proprietary. Every part on it is unobtainium. And John and I just plain really don't have space to store it and keep it around and everything else. So John wants to offer it up. No, he really doesn't, but I'm offering it up for, let's go on the ballpark of 200, 250, somewhere in there, or trading for a decently rebuildable go-kart or something. We're in the Mid-Coast, Maine region, and I don't know. We left the original clutch assembly in place. You could get the clutch refaced and use it the way it's supposed to be used. We do have the actual 1-inch pulley assembly that came off of this. It came off without any issue whatsoever. I will admit that the low gear pulley looks like somebody chewed it up a little bit somehow. But you could reface it on a lathe and be fine. But let's be honest, John. I think your John Deere actually works better than this does. And we've got spare transmissions for the John Deere and everything else.
Yeah.
This we don't. It really honestly should go somewhere where somebody's going to use it and get some fun out of it. The real reality is I got $120 into the engine and clutch setup, another $20 bill into the throttle, and the linkage assembly from NR Racing is another $15 bill. So we've easily got $150 into it by the time you miscellaneous it. But either way, if this is... Oh, and we have the original rims. And they look as if they're reusable. I'll even throw in the set of Sears Suburban rims that are on here because I have no use for them. We do have the correct oil grease caps and rims for this because, yet again, those are proprietary also to this unit. Like, the whole thing is proprietary, John. And we don't need another proprietary pain in the neck. I don't know, guys. Make us an offer. If you're in the Mid-Coast Maine region and you have an interest in this thing, like, we'll throw in the original Wisconsin engine with it and everything. I don't know. Tell us what you think. What would you do? Granted, we did figure out the Wisconsin needs a coil and they're $250. So, I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding a reason to keep this thing, John.
It's pretty looking?
It is not pretty looking. No, it's not pretty by any means. Don't you dare get on that whole, but it's got patina. No, it's rusted. It's not patina. It's freaking rust from being outside for 30 years. Okay, John. Say bye-bye.